So whether you're building a home from the ground up, or maybe you've just got an amazing deal on that home that has a huge potential, right down to your selling of your home, and you're seeing what tweaks you can make to slightly bump up the total value of the home, whatever your situation is, one thing we can all agree on is spending more money than we need to in the design center is very easy, and sometimes it comes without any returns, both short-term or long. So with that said, here's what you need to avoid doing at the design center to not only save yourself money, especially if you have a budget, but to also focus on the things that will make an impact. So whether you are using the interior designer or not, there are some considerations that you will need to keep in mind on a trip to the design center. So I know the options are amazing, and some of the things you will absolutely fall in love with, but to avoid headaches of returns and having to redo things a million times, here are some of the biggest mistakes non-designers make at the design center. So the first is not considering the balance of space in the home. And second, which builds on the first, is the buying of furnishings that are just too big or too small. So because of that and not being aware of the balance, third is not leaving room for the negative space. And fourth, not taking heights with you. And fifth is heading to a design studio before you have plans in place. So had you never thought of these, I know, negative space, I mean, what's that? This thing brings us to another factor of what the design center and what the pros and the cons of designing your own home. So interior designers have number of skills that take you much further than a great eye for textures and fabric combinations, and the use of the space is really technical. But geometry of a room, the way the space engages with the lifestyle elements, are all of the aspects professional that the interior designer takes into account. And they will provide you with the schemes of all your floor plans and the vision boards, and you actually rarely need to go into a design center alone. And if you do, the best interior designers will already have samples laid out and a presentation for you, so you are not wandering around getting lost in all the samples. So obviously this is very expensive, and this is the only con that we're going to list here, but there are some features that designers also might like that do not add to the resale value. But we will go over those later. And overall, if you can afford an interior designer on the main line, you should consider it, because we have some of the most talented designers in the Northeast, and they work on multi-million-dollar estates. However, if you're thinking about selling, this is definitely not the time to hire an interior designer. And I get this question a lot. If I redo my kitchen and my baths, or I update them, will I get significantly more on my return? No. The answer is no, 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 but yes. But for the most part, I do not recommend making major renovations. And why is this? Every owner has different tastes, and you can think that a subway tile backsplash is something everyone loves. But your new buyer might like Spanish tiles. You just cannot be certain who's coming in and what they're going to like. So there are, however, some upgrades that are more like curb appeal elements they can do to increase the value of your home. So things simple like repainting a kitchen in a neutral color always is a good idea, and it remediates odors. Replacing the appliances with stainless steel appliance is also a fairly safe. Repainting cabinets, repairing tiles, and minor grout work, that can always be good. So adding a kitchen island, not worth it. And major structural renovations should also be held off on. So here are the top 3 focusing on the design center, the top 3 things, I can't really do that very well, top 3 things to avoid. So setting a budget with things to avoid. For those that are looking to spruce up a bit and heading to a design center without a designer, or those who have built a new home, here are top 3 things to focus on and top 3 things to avoid. And first is to know the process. You will spend easily 2 to 4 hours at an appointment for a new home. And you can expect to make 3-4 appointments to make all of your design decisions. So second, your budget for a new home will be about 5, maybe 12% above basic prices. So to customize their home. If you are looking for renovations, you can expect to spend more than you would at Home Depot or at Lowe's. So design centers are selling appliance packages, they're selling cabinetry packages, and showroom types of packages. So third, be prepared with style and lifestyle samples. Now is the time to really explore things like Pinterest and envision yourself in this new home of yours. So on to the top 3 things to avoid, and these are practical. Do not go into a design center for upgrades that can be completed at a Home Depot or a Lowe's. Do go for the full appliance package, but if you're going to sell, this is not the right environment. Do not go without your designer. If you have retained one, remember the designer, like a realtor, works for you and does not operate on the commission, whereas a design center personnel, they do. So lastly, don't bring your kids. It's just, especially when they're little, not fun. You might be thinking, how long is this going to take? And it truly does take time, and it takes a lot of concentration. Now, we come to setting your budget and a playbook for what not to spend on when you are heading to a design center. So repeat after me. No spending on cabinetry, painting, lighting, backsplashes, and carpet. Do spend on flooring, cabinetry, electrical upgrades, structural upgrades, and lighting upgrades. I get calls all the time on people moving homes, specifically around the mainline PA. So reach out to me if you're looking at buying in or around the main line, or if you would like to know more about anything. So my number is in the description below. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll love the next one that's coming up. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it.